Welcome to another interesting video. In this video, I want to show you one business that many people have neglected. Now we are going to discuss plantain chips production business in full details. I've done this research, I've written a comprehensive feasibility study, and I'm going to also attach the link here in this video. So if you want to go into plantain chips production business, I will encourage you to go ahead and get that feasibility study. Is going to be the best guide you will ever come across on the internet. Now, how I was able to get this feasibility study is by speaking with people who are into plantain chips production business, both on small scale and on large scale. And I've been able to understand this business in details. Now, plantain chips production, or let me say the snack industry, is projected to hit $3 billion by 2030. Now, what that means is that the increase in demand for people who want to eat chips. Now, many of us who stays in, let me say, some of our cities like Lagos, Abuja, you will notice that people consume a lot of snacks. You know, people are rushing to work, they just pick one or two snacks. People are going to, there's so many demand. If you go to occasions, they can serve snacks. You know, people consume a lot. So in this video, I saw how profitable this business is. Many of you have also done your research. You have been looking at how this business works. So I come across someone, a guy who is based in Kaduna, that is doing so massive in this business. Many of you, maybe you might have come across him too. And one of the reasons why I also saw him was that a friend of mine, or let me say a business partner of mine that is based abroad, that buys almost all Nigerian food and supply to supermarket and other restaurants in the UK, US, South Africa, and other part of the world, reached out to me that he said he needed plantain chips. Now, for some of you who follow me on Facebook, I even made the post. I was looking for people who can supply to us. Now, he said he needed plantain chips. And I told him about this guy. I said, yes, they have reached out to this guy on different occasions and they don't even have his time. They will tell him they are busy. Like, they have a large work volume that they can't attend to him. He has been following them up for the past how many months. He have even reached out to the manager, no response. So he now saw that if these people are this busy, now he's not going there to beg. He's going there to say, okay, let me give you money. And they are not responding to him. It therefore means they have a very large demand for this product that even if they don't attend to him, they already have off-takers. Big supermarket in Nigeria, abroad, people are already paid money that, okay, give me 1 ton. Now, let me bust your brain. A ton of plantain chips is going for around 6 million to 8 million naira. 1 ton of plantain chips. Of course, we know that plantain chips does not have much weight. So, before you to even get the 1 ton, it means you need a lot of plantain. But at the end of the day, you will not make loss. I have spoken to nothing less than 10 plantain chips producers. And these are the things that I learned. So in this video today, I want to break down the feasibility study that I was able to document for you, so you can have an idea of how this business is. Now, what are the things that are contained in this feasibility study? The first thing is, during my research, I was able to identify problems. Because if you are going into a business, you don't just have to say, okay, I want to go into plantain chips production. No, you have to settle down and study, which I've done the study for you. What are the challenges that plantain chips people are facing? Because there is no business without challenge. Now, when you look at what the producers are facing, you also look at what are the challenges consumers are facing. Now, in the consumer aspect, I was able to speak with people who love consuming these chips. I made a random questionnaire, reach out to people, and they gave me the feedback. And I was able to itemize this feedback, and I will give it to you. Now, but first, I've documented everything here. Let's look at the problem faced by plantain chips suppliers, that is processors. Number one problem they face is inconsistent supply and quality of the raw material. That is the plantain. Now you know that we are just bringing this kind of conversation up. Many people have not been doing this on a commercial scale, that is producing plantain. If you go to our communities, it's only our women, our rural women who are doing this. You hardly see a youth or an adult that have the financial capital to set up a 1 hectare or 3 hectares or 4 hectares plantain farm and maintain it properly so that that plantain can be producing money all year round. If possible, irrigate the farm, bring in quality species. So you will notice that most of these farms are being owned by old women, our parents. So they do it on a small scale. So Mama A will bring 1 bunch, Mama B will bring 1 bunch, Mama C will bring 1 bunch. So they will gather it in the market before you, who is going into processing of these plantain chips, will gather it from them. So you can see right from there that there's a problem. So as a businessman that you're coming, how can you battle this inconsistency in supply? Because that is not your feed. People are producing for you. And again, the quality of the raw materials. Now, maybe Mama A gave you quality plantain on your first cycle. Then the next cycle, when you went to the market, because there is no standard management on the farm, maybe the one they brought, the fingers are small, or the fingers are not ripe, or the plantain is not big itself. And it's a different variety of plantain, because you know plantain also have varieties. I'm going to shoot a separate video on how to set up a standard plantain farm. I've spoken with plantain farmers. I've gathered enough of information that I want to share with you on that. So you have to subscribe to this channel. You stay connected so that when that video drop, you also pay careful attention and learn before you invest your money into this business. Now, I'm one among the only, let me say, farmer or someone who owns a YouTube channel that is breaking business down for you this way, farming business. So most of the videos you see, people will just show you how their farm is. Many of them, they are not even businessmen, so they can't break these kind of things down for you. So that is the reason why you have to subscribe to this channel and stay connected. Now, that is the first problem I was able to identify. Now, what is the next problem? The next problem I was able to identify was poor hygiene and quality control from the suppliers, then who are producing now. Now, remember, the first problem was from farmers supplying to them consistently. Now we are looking at farmers have supplied this plantain to them. Now, then the farmers, then the processors, many of the people who are producing the plantain chips that we consume are also doing it in a traditional way. What I mean by this is that they are now using quality machines. So someone can just pick his knife, gather his children, they will peel the plantain, slice it in an open environment. If the plantain can fall on the floor, they will pick it up sharp and clean it and put it in the oil. So when you move at hold up where they mostly serve these plantain chips, you see that the people who are selling it are even very dirty. So you're wondering yourself, if this person is this dirty, who fried the chips for him? Many times they did themselves. So for some people who are health conscious, they find it difficult to consume plantain chips. Not because they don't love it, but they are looking at where the plantain chips come from. Now, when I was doing my research, I watched a lot of funny videos on this. Videos of people who they don't consider the hygiene of people. All they want is money. So one particular oil that they use in frying the plantain, they can use it for 1 year. So the oil turns black, or the oil has been contaminated with a lot of things, but they are still using it to fry. Now, this is a challenge. This is a problem. So you who is coming into this business, you highlight this problem. Let's assume you want to use this feasibility study now to assess maybe grant opportunities, or to assess loan, or to get someone to invest in this business with you. This is where you need this feasibility study. And these are the points you'll be giving the person, because no wise investor will not ask this question and say, okay, this business that you have identified that you want to go into, what are the solutions or what are the problems that you have seen inside this business, and what are the solutions that you are bringing in this business? They will have to ask you those questions, and only if you have answered them perfectly, before they can invest your money into it. Another problem I was able to identify with processors of plantain chips is limited branding and packaging. This is the most important one for you who is a beginner, because I don't want you to come into this plantain chip business and be doing it in the same way those old people are doing. How are they doing it? They will just peel their plantain, package it in white leather, no branding, no name, no ingredients, no expiring date, there's no information like. So now when you look at the international market, they will ask you, can you give us the ingredients? Because they do. Now if you look at some of the plantain chips, tomato, chocolate, and many other things that we import from China and other countries, no matter how small the sachet is, they will squeeze up to write the ingredients for you. Oil was used at this quantity. Or once again, salt was used at this quantity. They will list all the ingredients for you and how much volume was used. But when you look at our own, it's been packaged in one white leather. So it is not branded, nothing. So you won't even know which date was the plantain produced. So even if you're eating plantain that is almost 1 year, and many times the funny thing is that, I love eating plantain chips, so I buy it a lot. Many times you will see that it's after buying the plantain chips, opening it from the leather, then you will see that it has dropped the crunchiness. It's not crunchy again. That is to tell you that chips has been there for maybe only God knows when, for a long time before you have come to make that purchase. So you can see that people who are coming into this business, or some people who want to be careful of what they are eating, they can't buy it. Even if they love the plantain chips, they will not patronize. And this thing cannot move to international market. You can't supply to our family abroad, because first the custom officers will want to know, you're sending plantain chips, okay, let's see which date was the plantain produced, what are the ingredients. And in this feasibility study, I was able to list quality ingredients that you can even use on your plantain chips. It's a very big and rich document that I will encourage you to get. I was able to list, okay, we are using air fryer. Now I introduced that technology in plantain chips. I'm not sure anybody producing plantain chips currently in Nigeria is using air fryer. I came across air fryer because I bought air fryer at home, and when I brought the air fryer, I decided to test plantain chips. So I sliced my plantain, loaded it inside the air fryer, and it came out very beautiful, extremely. So when I was doing this, you don't need oil. Maybe you can just marinate it with maybe chili pepper or garlic or ginger, anything that you need, but you don't need to add oil to it, and it will come out very sweet, very tasty and crunchy, and can stay for a long time. And let's assume you, as a beginner, you invest into this business, and you now say, okay, instead of me to use oil, contaminated oil, the groundnut oil that we are not even sure is groundnut oil, the vegetable oil that we are not even sure is vegetable oil, maybe you will be doing parts. Can you see it now? You're going to have different products. All of these I've explained then in the feasibility study. You're going to have different products for different markets. Some people who don't want to eat oil, who are afraid of oil because they don't know the source of the oil, they can go for your air fryer plantain chips. This one is zero oil. Then people who can't afford, because of course the one that you'll be using air fryer will be more expensive in the market. Then for those who cannot afford it, they can go for the one that was deep in oil. Now your oil is not contaminated oil. You're using quality oil. Because I also listed in that feasibility study a technology that can help you extract oil out of the plantain chips. Because I also discovered that many times when these our traditional processors, fry their plantain chips, because it was deep inside oil, the oil will stay in the leather, to a point that maybe when you unzip the plantain, you see that there will be leather oil inside the leather, and even if you eat, you will find oil on your hand. But there's a technology for that. We have a de-oiling machine that can move this oil away from the chips, that the chips will come out crunchy. Now this means it will have extended life shape. It can stay long. So you need to get that feasibility study. So I was able to identify, say, 3 problems processors are facing when they are producing their plantain chips. Now we are looking at the customer now. For customer, there are many, but I'll just break it down a little so we can look at what the customers are looking at. Now, for customers, what are the things that people complain when they want to consume plantain chips? Because these complaints are the ones to help you to build a business that you can gain market share quickly. In fact, there is no competition in plantain chips. There's a guy that I watch on TikTok that exports in cartons to the UK. Ordinary chips, and I know he's making big money because I've done the research. So what are the problems that, now these problems that we're able to identify also double as solution. Okay, since we're having challenge with inconsistent supply of plantain, how am I going to tackle this? We are going to work with farmers. So I was able to identify the solutions too. So not just state the problem, I identify detailed solution to each of the problem, which if I want to share here, the video will be too long, so you can get it there. Now, problem faced by consumers: hygiene and health concern. Just like I've highlighted, people are concerned. How are you frying the chips? The oil that you used last year, are you still using the oil till today? The oil will definitely get bad, because even oil have expiration date, but people who are using it to fry, they don't care. So it's a problem for we who consume it a lot. We're afraid. We want to know who is frying the chips. We want to trust that this woman is a careful woman, she's using good oil. Now, lack of product varieties, which is what I just stated. It's not everybody that wants to eat plantain that was fried with oil. So you who is coming into this business, that have gotten this feasibility study that I've done for you, you will see that I was able to identify that, look, there is a way we can do to these plantain chips. We can have plantain that is garnished with onions, that is garnished with chili pepper, that is garnished with garlic, that is garnished with ginger. We're adding flavor to it. You will hardly see it in the market. I've not seen it myself in Nigerian market though. So for some of you who are abroad, maybe you have seen it, but in the Nigerian market, during my research, it was difficult for me to see anyone that have these differences. All the ones I saw, they are just one, fried with oil. There is no flavor added to it. But there are many people who will not even want to eat plantain chips, but because ginger was added to it and they love ginger, they will buy. They will patronize. So there hardly you see varieties in the plantain chips that we have in the market. But in this feasibility study that I've done, I was able to identify that, look, we can bring a little innovation to this. Maybe someone somewhere is doing it, but on a small scale. Then you bring in money and push it on a large scale. It takes nothing for you to add chili pepper, the grinded one, so that the flavor will come out. Some people who want to eat something hot, or for maybe you add ginger or you add garlic. Some people who love garlic, they would love to patronize that. So these are the differences, or you bring varieties to this product. It's not there. Maybe you're watching this video. If you know someone who is doing it, you can let me know. And then short shelf life is another problem. So for someone who might not be able to consume the chips in a large quantity, or maybe you can just get a box of plantain chips, and before you know, the chips are spoiled. So what is the cause? Excess oil, lack of good packaging. It's not being packaged in a good container or a good leader. It's not being processed properly. The oil that was used was not good. The plantain they got was not good. So these are the challenges that they face that lead to, maybe like now, there are many of our chips that you might not be able to export, because maybe you load inside container before you offload. The chips have dropped the crunchiness, and once plantain is not crunchy, it makes no sense to eat. Many people will just discard it. So if you're able to come into this business and you look at a way to extend the shelf life, which I was able to identify that, look, if you can extract the oil out of these plantain chips after frying, After frying with good oil, there's a technology, there's a de-oiling machine that you can use to remove this oil, and the chips can now stay longer. So you will need to get it right. Now another problem faced by consumer is inconsistent taste and texture. So I bought plantain chips from Mama A. The last one, the salt was moderate, but the second one I bought, the sauce was SS. The last one I bought, there was no oil on it. The plantain came out well. The next one I ate, all my hand was with oil. So there is no consistent in the output of their products. There is no consistent with the taste. It can taste sweet today, the next one is bitter. Now this bitterness might even come from the plantain themselves. So they bought plantain from a very poor source. They can even use rotten plantain. You're not there. So plantain are supposed to be discarded. They can fry it for you. So at the end of the day, you will be struggling with the quality, how to maintain it. People will reach out to us, the last plantain I bought was good, and this one that this lady said I will not buy from her again. You have lost that customer successfully. So if there is a way you can come into this business and bring consistency in taste and texture, not that this one is crunchy, the next one is not crunchy. No, it's crunchy all year round with different production batch. Then you'll be able to make big money in this product. Another problem that consumers are facing is limited access to certified branded products. How many of them have NAFDAC number? I've not seen. Okay, I think during my research I was able to find 2 persons who have NAFDAC number for their product. So it means they are doing something well. Though they don't have money to do it on a larger scale, they are still struggling on a small scale. But they were able to acquire NAFDAC number, which means at best their product is far better than the one you eat on the street. Can you see the differences now? So if you're coming inside this business, you're going to get all the certifications, NAFDAC number, SON certification, all the numbers, everything that you need. So when you bring this, it's a selling point, and then you brand your product well. Not that you put inside this transparently that is not branded, no name, no address, no nothing. No. You're branding your own, so it can come with your NAFDAC number, it can come with your SON number, everything intact, and then this will boost consumers' confidence in buying your product. So these are some of the problems that I was able to identify, and I say let me share with you because you will have to know them first. Not because if you go into plantain chips, you start making billions, then we'll just stop at making billions. No. There are challenges there, and you will have to know them. So these are the challenges that I was able to identify. So now, let's look at how can you start this business? What are the machines that you need? Now, we'll make a video explaining the machines that you need, how much it will cost you on average, because I will not be able to give you the exact price those machines will cost, but on average, how much they will cost, what are the importance of the machine, how are they being used, so you can start planning ahead of time. Of course, all this explanation is already in the feasibility study, but maybe for some people who might not be able to get it, I will go further to explain, break down the machines so you can see and start budgeting, planning ahead of time. But based on what I was able to gather, for you to have a standard plantain production factory, you will need at least 9 to 10 million naira. Now you will be wondering, all those women that are doing on the street, do they have 10 million? No, they don't have. That is the reason why their product is not what I want you to be producing. You can start as they are doing, but me, I'm speaking now to people who have money. They are looking for which business can I invest. They want to go into processing and bringing this business to you as a sector where you can invest your money in. So for some people who don't have money, yes, that one is accepted, but this business and the feasibility study that I was able to conduct for you is for people who have at least 9 to 10 million naira on equipment, a very standard one. I'm not saying you cannot start with 5 million or 2 million or 3 million. You can start. At least when you get the feasibility study, you will see the machines that are needed. Maybe you can buy the one that your money can buy right now and start using it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have gotten value, you share and watch my next video, which I'm going to break all the machines, the cost of setting up and everything for you. So thank you so much. Stay connected, subscribe. I'm Dennison, your billionaire family.